We are fighting for the money. We are fighting for our life.
It was a moment of humiliation and despair as nearly 300 Romanian mercenaries, lured by the promise of lucrative pay, surrendered to the M23 rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo. These foreign fighters hired to support the Congolese army against the Rwanda-backed rebel group had anticipated an easy mission with financial rewards far beyond what local soldiers earned. But instead, they found themselves abandoned, outmaneuvered, and forced into submission. What does this dramatic turn of events reveal about the state of warfare in Africa, where hired gangs are playing an increasingly significant role? The offensive on Goma began late Sunday night, catching the mercenaries off guard. As M23 rebels advanced with superior firepower and tactical coordination, the Romanians, alongside the Congolese allies, found themselves overwhelmed. By morning, the mercenaries had retreated to a UN peacekeeping base, seeking safety from the relentless assault. According to Constantin Timofti, one of their coordinators, the Congolese National Army simply gave up fighting, leaving the Romanians exposed. What does it say about a country's military when foreign contractors are the ones left to face the battle alone? For the mercenaries, the financial contrast between them and the local troops was striking. Leaked contracts reveal that these Romanian fighters were making upwards of $5,000 per month, 50 times more than a Congolese soldier's salary, which is often delayed or entirely unpaid. Some sources even claim the figure was as high as $8,000 per month. The disparity was so glaring that M23 commander Willie Ngoma mocked a captured Romanian, forcing him to sit on the ground and berating him over the absurd paid gap, adding that the rebels were fighting for their future, not financial gain. How can a nation's armed forces hope to defend their country when its government prioritizes paying foreign mercenaries better than its soldiers? The surrender was a moment of profound embarrassment, with journalists capturing footage of the mercenaries crossing the border into Rwanda, subjected to body searches and security checks. The Romanian Foreign Ministry, in damage control mode, claimed that complex negotiations led to the handover of their citizens. But the reality was far from humiliating. They had no choice but to give up. If highly trained foreign soldiers can crumble so easily in the heat of battle, what does that suggest about the viability of using mercenaries in modern warfare? This is far from an isolated case. Across Africa, governments are increasingly outsourcing their wars to private military companies. These African governments, facing the threat of armed groups looking to claim territory, are handing out billions of dollars to private military companies, making the military subcontracting business a lucrative one. For instance, the Central African Republic government has been receiving security services from the Wagner Group, a Russian private military firm, in return for access to natural resources like diamond and gold mines. They have fought against a number of the nation's insurgent factions. We can examine Mozambique as well. The government of Mozambique hired mercenaries from Wagner Group to help its military in the fight against the Islamist insurgency in Cabo Delgado province. The Wagner Group has been active in Sudan, helping the government deal with internal strife. Training and safeguarding resource extraction operations have been among their endeavors. Additionally, the Malian government has hired Wagner mercenaries to help with counter-insurgency efforts in response to a jihadist insurgency. Their responsibilities include both direct combat engagement and training Malian troops. How much control are African governments willing to cede to foreign entities in their desperate bids to maintain power? But Wagner is just one example. Cameroon hired Israelis to train an elite battalion that has been implicated in illegal executions, torture, and village burning during its operations against Boko Haram and Anglophone rebels. Also, the French private security organization Secopex, which worked in Somalia and the Central African Republic, made headlines when its founder was assassinated in Libya in 2011, while reportedly working for Muammar Gaddafi. Additionally, the British private military and private security companies Aegis Defense Services has had businesses in 18 African nations, including the Democratic Republic of Congo and Angola. One of its former directors acknowledged in 2016 that the company used former Sierra Leonean child soldiers as mercenaries for the United States and Iraq because they were cheaper than Europeans. African governments like to use mercenaries because, unlike state forces, private military companies require less bureaucratic complications, and that has made them more appealing. But what are the ethics and implications of using such groups? Firstly, these mercenaries are paid way more than the local soldiers. Media outlets have seen contracts that show that these Romanian soldiers in Congo, for example, were being paid around 5,000 US dollars a month, while regular military recruits get around 100 US dollars or sometimes go unpaid. How fair is this? Also, many argue that mercenaries create a two-tier military system where foreign fighters are incentivized to continue conflicts rather than resolve them, pointing to the long-term instability they leave behind. In many cases, these contractors have little to no understanding of the complex ethnic, political, and historical context of the wars they are paid to fight. Can outside guns for hire ever truly bring peace to nations struggling with deep-rooted conflicts? From a strategic standpoint, relying on mercenaries is risky. While private soldiers can provide short-term tactical advantages, they lack loyalty to the states they serve. Unlike national armies, they operate purely for financial gain and can withdraw at a moment's notice if payments dry up or the risk outweigh the rewards. With so many African governments becoming increasingly dependent on them, what happens when these foreign fighters decide the price isn't worth the war anymore? The collapse of the Romanian mercenaries in the DRC highlights a broader crisis. African nations are outsourcing their wars at an alarming rate, often at the expense of their own military institutions. The reliance on foreign fighters only deepens the continent's security vulnerabilities, as wars become profit-driven ventures rather than national defense operations. If history is any guide, the unchecked use of mercenaries will only lead to further instability. And if nations cannot defend themselves without outside help, can they truly claim to be sovereign? The DRC's Romanian debacle should serve as a wake-up call, not just for Kinshasa, but for every government considering mercenary contracts. The money spent on foreign guns could be used to build stronger, better trained national armies, giving local soldiers a reason to fight for their country. Because, at the end of the day, when the mercenaries flee, it is the citizens who are left behind to pick up the pieces. Will African leaders finally learn that lesson, or will they continue selling their wars to the highest bidder? Your perspective matters. What's your take on African governments increasingly relying on mercenary outfits for their security needs? Share your thoughts and insights in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our informative future videos. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thank you for watching.